Is that justice I see on the horizon over there? Well, it's, pinch early to be super optimistic, but PayPal is sued for blocking accounts and keeping the funds. This is something that PayPal has been doing for quite some time now, where they allege that you've violated something or other, and therefore they are entitled to close your account and reach in and just grab that money and move it right on into their own accounts. Sounds like theft, you say? Yes. Yes, it very much so does, and by any reasonable definition of the word, it is theft. However, much like many other big tech corporations, PayPal has for the longest time been of the opinion that they can legislate via terms of service, and so long as nobody calls them on it, they effectively can. And here's the problem as well. I covered this a little while ago with Top13. Top13 are the creators of Lewd Idol project, a hentai-style yuri game, a lesbian game, where females do erotic things with one another. They figured that, okay, this is the game we want to make, we're going to put it up on Kickstarter, we're going to try and get it funded, and they succeeded. After that, they put the money into PayPal, because, you know, easy, safe, right? Until they were one day informed that, we've decided that we don't like lesbians here at PayPal, so we've closed your account and taken all of your money. No warnings, no opportunities to clear out the cash, just mine now. Now, after an extensive period, they have exhausted their options, as PayPal have decided to apparently unfreeze their account, but leaving it with $0 in the account. Where did the rest go? Well, they have been transferred to PayPal to make up for damages caused by acceptable use policy violations. Oh yes. The company, who have determined that you have broken their rules, have also determined that the adequate compensation for the violation of the rules is all of your money. The literal highway robbery, right? It's the, you're using our road. That's all of your cash, thank you very much. Good God. And the problem is, you can say this is blatantly illegal. This is bullshit, and probably it is. However, you are going to have to sue them, you are going to have to go through court, and you are going to have to pay a lawyer probably hundreds of thousands of dollars to get this tried. And if by some chance you don't win, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars flushed down the toilet, and you're risking a countersuit by the corporation as well, which even if they are not able to win that, if the vindictive bastards just want to, they can drag that out for years, costing you yet again possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is, not a very good situation, by and large, to put it mildly. Our current day legal system was fully functional for, you know, the early 2000s, 1900s, etc. But in the modern day of mega corporations, it's starting to show the flaws in its design process, shall we say. Anywho, the plaintiffs we currently know about is... don't fail me now, language skills. Shdaban Akilbekov, who had his account frozen and $172,000 seized. And there's the other thing too. Okay, you can sue PayPal. With what money? PayPal took all of your money. Whoops. The company did not explain why his account was frozen. He used the account of a company owned by his wife that sells internet. Hilarun pens, needleless pens that inject acid, just straight up acid, okay? I tried to DuckDuckGo this, and apparently it's some kind of beauty product of some sort. I have no idea what it is, so, you know, bear that in mind. Another plaintiff, Lena Evans, who had used PayPal for 22 years, had $26,984 seized from her account as they decided to just limit it for Reasons, no doubt. And the third plaintiff, Ronnie Shemtov, had her account frozen and $42,000 seized. She claims that she did not get sufficient explanation for the freezing of the account, and furthermore, when she contacted the company, she received different explanations. One time, she was told that her account was frozen because there were multiple accounts using the same IP. Another time, she was allegedly told that her account was frozen because she was selling yoga clothing at 20 to 30% below market price. Do you have any large investments in yoga clothing recently that you would like to disclose to us, PayPal? No? Alrighty then. And also the customer care rep told her that she was banned because she had multiple accounts, which she claims she doesn't have. And here's the thing. PayPal is not a bank, despite the fact that it operates on every level like a goddamn bank. It is a bank, but not legally, and therefore it is not bound by the usual rules and regulation that we place upon banks, because, well, having large quantities of money held in trust by a customer base is usually something that should be rather heavily regulated so that the bank doesn't, just seize all of your cash, for example. Wild outlier scenario, I know, yet nevertheless. And here we are. But there is a further thing as well. I mentioned the whole legislation via terms of service. This is something that has begotten awfully popular amongst big tech platforms because they reckon they can get away with it, because they can afford entire teams of legal experts to drag a case through court for years, no matter how obvious or slam dunk it may be. And the majority of people can't afford half a decade of court fees to prove a point or to get back whatever was lost, which in all due likelihood will be nothing compared again to what you had to pay in. Now, this is one of the reasons why we do have class action lawsuits, which this one is. I believe somebody did point this out to Toffa team, so maybe they want to get in on it, hopefully, and hopefully they will win it as well. Because here's the thing. You cannot actually legislate via terms of service. This may come as a shocker to the big tech companies, but they know this isn't legal. They're simply assuming that no one will run the risk to prove them wrong in court. The only defense I can imagine they would come up with would be, first and foremost, to say, we're not a bank, therefore we're not technically guaranteeing anything, therefore us stealing all of your cash is fair because of our terms of service. However, you can't sign away your rights. That's one of the things you can't do. You can't sign away your life, for example, indentured servitude. You can't do that. You can't you can't sign away your right to do basic human things. I'm sorry, I'm messing up my examples here dreadfully, but core principle is you cannot sign a paper that says that it is okay for another party to steal from you. I should have used that example to begin with. That's a thing that you can't sign away, no matter what. You could sign as many documents you saying that I approve person B stealing all of my money. Person B still does not have the right to take your money. Doesn't exist. Now, you could argue that it's a service that they're providing, but even then, I don't think that in any way allows them to, again, take your cash, because this isn't a contract. You haven't agreed to pay them your money depending on the services rendered. You haven't said, I'm going to pay you $10,000 to store my money. No, you're simply saying, here, you can store my money. That's it. Now, again, bearing in mind I am by no stretch of the imagination a legal expert, if my faltering explanation earlier wasn't plentiful evidence of that, so perhaps there is some kind of loophole in the federal legal code that allows PayPal to just take people's cash with zero consequences. If there is, might I suggest trying to close it? We'll have to wait and see. The problem is, again, this thing here is going to drag on for years, at best. But when it is finally resolved, presuming that the statute of limitations hasn't run out, then the various companies like Toffa Team can potentially sue PayPal after that and go, alright, they did to us what this previous case alleges, therefore we've got precedence, therefore it's a slam dunk. That's one of the few cases in which you can prove, quote-unquote, quickly and easily that you are in the right. Now, in that case, the defense of PayPal would have to argue that their case is not sufficiently similar to the preceding case, and therefore it needs its entirely brand new trial, and so on and so on. Again, this is likely to take a very, very, very long time. But I do hope that it is a success, because it might be the first of many blows against companies like PayPal, who have decided to become very moralistic in how they apply their terms of service. This game, made by Toffer Team, is not allowed because, well, we simply just don't like that. Okay, if you were to deny somebody access to your services because you don't like what they do, I believe there's a word for that. Discrimination, I believe. I think we had a whole thing about this in baking a cake at some point, but hey, details. Until next time, all I can say is best of luck to the plaintiffs in this lawsuit. God willing, they will get everything they're asking for, and hopefully that will unleash an avalanche of further lawsuits directed against PayPal, because as much as I actually do like their services, it's easy to use, they're simple, they convert your money without cost to your native currency, etc., they provide a valuable service, so long as they're also willing to steal your money whilst doing so. Yeah, there's no service valuable enough to justify that. Until next time, I've been Art, thank you all very much for watching, and I am going to go empty my PayPal account right now. Have a good day.